Hey everyone, this is Eric Boyd with Foothillsangler.com, and as many of you know, here at Foothills Angler we do enjoy fly fishing. I particularly love fly fishing for smallmouth bass, and I love tying streamers for smallmouth bass. So what I wanted to do today is introduce you to probably the easiest streamer to tie, and probably the first streamer that I ever learned how to tie from one of those Lefty Cray videos. So today's streamer is called a woolly booger, and there are so many different variations of a woolly booger that you can tie, but I just want to introduce you to a nice easy one, and I hope you enjoy. Hope you learned something. Alright, so first thing you really want to start with whenever you're tying a woolly booger is to choose the correct hook. I like a number 4 hook. For the bait fish in the river that I like to emulate, that number 4 really does the trick. So there you go. I've got a Daiichi number 4 streamer hook. You can get those at Bass Pro or wherever you want to buy them. The other thing that you want to think about before you start tying is the type of head design that you want for your woolly booger. A typical woolly booger may have a cone head design, something like that, in which you would have to actually put on before you start your tie, and that's the way that would look on there. You could also do one of the Cyclops bead heads. This is actually a tungsten bead head, so it'll get down. It's a little heavier than the other, and that's actually what I'm going to tie on today. So with that, you have to tie on first. But if you were to go the new way, the fad right now is to tie on a fish skulls head. So I've got a few of those, and I love tying with them, but just for the sake of tradition today, I'm going to tie on, actually instead of the tungsten head, I'm going to go very traditional and tie on the cone head. So a cone head woolly booger. So I've got my woolly booger, or my cone head on there, and now from there I have to lay a base of thread. So I'm going to lock this cone head in there real well. That way it can't really slide too much. So I do need to build up a little bit of thread so that it cannot slide. So I'm going to do that real quick, and then I'll go ahead and start wrapping on down. I'm going to wrap on all the way to the point of the hook. I'm tying with an olive thread right now because that's actually the color of the booger that I'm tying. I'm actually going to be using some olive colors, some brown, actually marabou. So whenever you start tying the woolly booger, you actually want to start with the marabou. And so I'm going to pick me off a nice little plume there. I don't like to get extra thick with my marabou. I like to keep it actually a little bit thin. So with that, start wrapping down. You don't ever want to make the first wrap real tight. You want to make a couple loose wraps and then cinch it down. Okay, that'll keep the marabou or any other fiber from spinning around the hook too much in an unwanted fashion. But there is the tail with my little bait fish emulating woolly booger. or whatever it might be emulating. It may be emulating a crawfish or a leech or whatever your river may have. So keep that in mind. The woolly booger, nobody really know what it is. So the next thing I like to do is add just a little bit of flash. And let me find that flash around here. We've got some bait fish emulator flash right here. So I'm going to grab just actually a small amount of that. Cut that off. I'm actually going to put that right there. I'm actually going to work it a little bit around my marabou. Lock it down. I can pull that back a little bit as well. It'll work really well. So now I've got a little bit of green olive flash in there. You can leave that little beard if you want to. I'm going to cut it off. Right. Now it's time to actually start tying in the chenille. And somehow I've misplaced that junk. Alright, there you are. Got some brown chenille here. You don't need a whole heck of a lot of it. What you're going to do is take that chenille and start tie that in and tie it back as far as you want to the point where you're going to start actually palmering it forward. The next thing that I'm going to add in there is a neck hackle. Okay, the neck hackle comes out looking pretty normal, but what you want to do is grab the tip of it and actually start pulling that down to separate the various strands of feather in there. And then I'm going to take that and tie it in real good. Tie it in all the way as far as you did your chenille. And then wrap back forward. May have to adjust that hook in there. Alright, now once we've got our chenille and our hackle tied in, tied in there, we're going to actually pinch that off right there with this nifty little tool. I don't even know what it's called. And what you're going to do is pinch that together, cut off a little bit of excess, and you're going to start twisting. This is going to intertwine all of those hackle feathers and really make this woolly booger come alive. So with that, we'll start twisting. Don't want to twist too much. The little beagle's gone crazy outside. And then start palmering forward. You can palmer thick at the base and then start working it forward. it'll actually add a little segmented look to it, and also make it look pretty gnarly. So there's that. Now I can trim off that excess. Tie that in nice and tight. Notice that cone head, we don't want it going anywhere. So tie that in. Cut that off. I'm going to slide that cone head down to cover as much as I can. And then I'm going to tie once more to secure that cone head. Oop. Yep. That happens from time to time. I don't have the best vise in the world. So there's that. Alright. There we go. Can make one more hitch in there. Boom.
Sweet river, roll over me. Let my body find peace and let my mind be free. Though my soul sings to thee. Oh. Sweet river, roll over me. Let my body find peace and let my mind be free. Oh, my soul sings to thee. My religion, he cut it to the bone like a needed incision. The cancerous growth of formulaic precision blocks the lifeblood in rebellious collision. Cold